Hey SBF family, welcome back. Finally, holidays are past. I can get on to some crafting projects. I've had the itch and finally I get to scratch it. This one was a jump in that now I am eager to do and kind of happy about doing a small project, an easier one. Of course, it has been influenced by gaining this beautiful doll for Christmas. A true collector delight. Gracie already had, no, I have that one. Gracie got that, or no, Gracie got the Spectra before last Christmas. We had the clothes and then I got the hair, and you know, by salon time. So that one's kind of like mine, hers, whatever. And then of course now I had to get these two. So this is the influence of the newest project. And what am I going to do? Here's my idea. I want her to look really good. I'm looking at the backs of all these and I'm seeing them coming out of the thing. So anyway, I'm calling it a POW POP. And the reason I'm calling it a POW POP, I'm not crazy, that those things, like when Batman and Robin are punching people out and it goes pow, bam, boom. So if you got a better name for it, the real name, because I'm too anxious to craft and don't know it, I would love to know that. So here we are. Each of the boxes, of course we don't have the box from that, never had it. And Gracie's I actually might have cut somewhere, I can check it out. But I did look online, look at the pictures, and they're all bursting out of something. So I'm going to do a cross between them bursting out and the POW POP together. So they're going to be, it's going to be very similar to Haunted. That's why I showed that picture. If you want to know how I did Haunted, this is a good one to watch. And I'm going to make that POW POP, but have all 5 of them coming out of it. Wydowna in the middle, of course. My idea, we're over in here, in this area, we got the sky, is to maybe put it up here in the sky. Don't particularly love that it's behind the door, but what am I going to do? I don't know. She's the safest. I had an idea of doing the catacombs underneath because it's, you know, really narrow, but I'm kind of getting my brain rolling on a different project over there. So I think it's going to end up around here. That'll soften the edge of the shelf, and then it'll just be there and look good. I don't want to go too low because it'll take away the landscaping dimension there in the mural. But a POW POP, they're coming out of nowhere, can really be anywhere. So I think I can get away with this. I was also thinking of up above Bloodgood's house, and I might change my mind on that. But I think they'll be too crammed. So I think this is it. As well, while I'm here, I'm going to build a small little shelf so I can put my Draculaura collector's one up there all on its lonesome. It'll go with this, go with the Monster High. I think this will be a nice blend in. Anyway, bear with me. Hashtag as is. It's building and crafting time. Hee-haw! This part's awesome. I love being resourceful. I have went through all of our scrap wood, so I don't have to buy another piece of plywood for using for 3 projects. A piece of plywood, decent, one side good, one side bad, is about $25. So this is awesome that I thought ahead on my last projects and tried to be very minimal so I can have the best left over for whatever was to come. Doesn't always work out, but in this case it did. I will add this into all 3 videos, all 3 projects, but this is me stopping for you because this is how I work. And I do it for myself because I'm in a measuring mood, and I do it for Alex. His time is very limited, so I like to have everything ready for him to go to just use the power tools. I can use them, but I don't like to. It's just not my favorite thing in the whole wide world to do. So here we have the one big project that when I announced this first is kind of a secret, but it's a base so something doesn't flop over. This is the cabin leftovers. This was actually the hole cut out from Nightmare's stable, if you remember that. So I got nice with that. And then, so that's for the thing, and then I'm going to make it on the top for the live cabin, and then I'm going to put it up on stilts and use that as the base for some exterior landscaping of some sort, and add another extra bit of space. And here's the Power Pop. Power Pop? Pow, whenever I figure out what it's going to be called, ready to go, all scraps. Here's some scrap wood I got ready for a little shelf for my collector Draculaura. So he's all ready. You can see by our markings, I get him, R meaning he understands my language. I get them all ready, all the same. Put X's on what you want cut off because there's a width of the saw that's about like 1/8 of an inch, and he goes left or right of it and knows what to do. So I got all my measurements, bottom, top, front. I've taken the time to look and make sure my knots are hidden and everything's beautiful. So when that goes on the wall, it'll be something like that for a little shelf that'll perfectly fit just her. And of course that'll make that pretty. And all those marks do all the same thing. X's and what I want cut off. And lines and whatnot for that. That's me. 3 at a time. And all of these, $0 at this point because it's all leftover scraps. Love it. Super duper. And so begins the Power Pop for the Power Ghouls to especially highlight San Diego Comic-Con Wydowna Spider. This is, now remember, this is all true, hashtag as is. And boy, am I glad to be getting onto a project right now, I tell you. It's been too long. Holidays are past. Lots of video learning, Instagram learning, now it's time. Anyway, I'm ready. So here we go. I've never built one of these. I've built something like it in the Haunted. It's going to be the same effect of coming out of the sky, but in this case coming out of the Power Pop. So it's all true hashtag as is because I've never made one, and I'll just show you it as I do it in this video journal series, which I'm not sure is going to be 1 or 2. So here I am with a piece of scrap wood. I'll show you a video on that. And that's exciting. So right now I'm at $0 for this project, which I love because it is scrap. I have looked at my wall space, determined a left and right measurement, which was 12 3/4. Now I got to get a cutoff line for Alex. So if you don't know how to do that, you need to know that. That works with paper too. You line it up, go to where you want to cut, and you just make a bunch of marks at your measurement, 12 3/4 all along. Don't have to, well, you don't, you get it where you can. And then what you do is take your ruler, or your measuring tape in this case, and you line it up the best you can to all your lines, and then you make your mark, and you've got a pretty darn good ballpark of a straight line where you need it. So that's going to be my left and my right. My top and bottom was already there. I had to go by the piece of wood I had scrap left over. Now if you look at that picture, you'll see some lines, so maybe you can see what I'm going to try and do. So whereas Haunted was the sky and they were all around, I'll put a link to that, randomly in the sky. This one I'm going to use a similar technique but change it so I don't have repetition within the doll room. These are actual scrap cutoffs from the bottom of the ledge bases I did where the stands for Haunted landed on. So this is going to be a great example of how I did that if you were to purpose that into your projects. And that's how it looks. That's how it's cut if you need for reference. In this case now, I'm not going to do the whole ledge. I'm just going to use this with the the waist stand clip. And I actually don't have that handy to show, which I should go get. But anyway, I'll show a picture of this. I used the dolls and I laid some dolls out to see where they're going to be. So Wydowna's going to be in the middle and the other Power Ghouls will be surrounding her, and then there will be the jagged painted POW POP all around it. So I want her to stand out the most, so I'm going to put her right in the middle. I've also done little star marks so Alex knows to pre-drill there, and that is how we will attach it to the wall. So I will then take these and cut them the same as that. We'll do the measurements, go this way and this way, so one cut on each will give us 4 for that. I have 1 for Wydowna. Therefore, we'll put 1 in each corner and 1 in the middle. Like I said, from this view, she'll pop out just a little more than the others, which is what I desire. And of course their bodies will be cut here. Their bodies will come off of this somehow. Some will be in the POW POP and some will be in the sky and their legs and everything. So I really like that. And I think this is a great use, and I'm super excited about this project. Woohoo! Awesome possum. And now I got a boy clip, which I've been waiting patiently for some extra boy clips. Now remember in Haunted, they came with their clips were under their armpits, so they looked like they were hanging and therefore floating. And I was gonna go and order more of those and spray paint them. And then it hit me, wait a minute, the boy ones are big like that. So I ordered some, and I think that's about one of the main costs of this project. What did I pay for them? I think it was $3 each, and I got 6 because they came in packs of 2. So as you can see, that fits under their armpit quite well. I got them all in black. They finally just came in, so I can finally begin to move on this project. That has been the delay to some degree, and other things of course, but you get the hint. So they'll, with our beautiful model here, they'll hang like that. I foresee a little bit of problem with Frankie Ghouls, Power Ghouls, because she has those wings. But anyway, I'll address that when I get to it. This is how this worked. Now before I did it on the ledge, and here I'm going to do it on here. So this will go that way. See that little hole? I'm going to pre-drill a hole, put that on there, line it up really nice here so that the body is sticking out the best so that it can hang freely. And then of course I'll go just like that. And then she can hang. I was going to use the waist ones, the little ones, but then I got nervous of doing all this work, and you know, sometimes when you push the doll in and out, they snap these things off. Then I would have to, it would be just way too much trouble. So I think this is a safer bet. It's not going to look the most beautiful around their armpits. I did get black, but I think it's the safest choice for longevity and display. And that's where I'm at. So I just got to wait for Alex to do me some cutting, and I'm going to look for something that I can use for the POW POP points. How'd y'all like that action shots of Mr. Alex? Obviously he cut all my stuff. I couldn't stay there while he did this because it was making me nervous.
And I walked out like this. Oh my God!
He did. So he did those alone. We got the nice little shelf is all cut, so I can decorate that for the Dracula. I'll do that on a little side job for the collector one to go on the wall. Got all the little pieces. Got Wydowna's bigger one. Got the smaller ones. I got some adjusting to do, but I've got a good idea where they gotta go. I'm gonna drill some holes. Most importantly, I have to sand all of them. I'm gonna sand all the edges, make it smooth.
And don't forget the gallon of glue.
Of course, but I'm not to that point yet. But quickly, let's do a shout out real quick to George Stein, who was our first person who subscribed to us on Instagram, even before we told anybody. We were setting it up and it showed up. So thank you very much. Alex is going to help me. This finally came in the mail, and I needed it and was waiting on it to move next. So I'm not going to do a separate package opening, just add it into this because I know, of course, what it is. And what do we have? We have stands. Good old stands. And the most important part of the stands I need. Oh, thank you for your purchase. Oh, look at that nice little thing there. So what I have here is 6 what I needed black boy stands for this particular project. I'm usually ahead on my shopping, but this one was a little surprise and an add-in, so I had to catch up. And something I could not resist was this. Miss Abby. See, it was the same lady, same person. Woo, look at her makeup. Those big, beautiful, bright lips, and her makeup's bright. I can already feel that her hair is very, gonna be needing some salon time. Unfortunately, just a wash anyway, maybe. Anyway, that's what there. So I got what I need here, and I can continue on with this project. Here I am in the doll room. Now I have a piece of wood that he cut for me, and I'm looking, and I like it, and I don't. So I was playing around with the dolls and moving it around. If you notice, I'm holding this so I can't show you. The left and right, my wall kind of curves there. So that gives me a little bit, my POW POP. Not going to be quite as big as I want. I don't like that idea. I don't like Wydowna back here being hidden. So I started moving around, messing around in the doll room. I think I've made a final decision. I think what we're going to do is put her by blood goods up above here. You can see I already marked it. Just started playing with the wood and holding a doll up without the video, and this, I believe, will work. So there's my piece of wood, which is near that. Takes up some unused space, which is precious in this part. And I kind of like how it goes over into the window alcove, because, you know, that'll be their body, and their legs will be hanging out, and her arms will be sticking out. She'll be centered. Those ones will be like they're in the sky. I will use some more paint and extend that sky a little bit. I think I made my decision. I erased my star marks and redid them on the left hand side to be hung there. I like this idea. It's happening. Lastly, for this segment on this video, because we're getting timely as usual with me, right? I've found a nice big piece of cardboard, and I've laid it on the piece of wood that's the backing, that's the support. I've laid it on it. I traced it out. I've got my pictures next to me locked so I can get ideas of what shape I want, how I want it to work. I have to make decisions on the platforms and where they need to be. I got Wydowna so we can see exactly how she's laying, because when I put the clip on her and with her arms, I want to make sure I set her, attach it, I set her in such a way that she looks good. Now if you look from that side, you can see how she's going to stand out, which is exciting for me to show her off in the best way. And then these ones will be a little set back. And with those legs hanging, that was a bad angle, sorry. With those legs hanging, I can pose them out to look like they're jumping out of the POW POPs really nice. So decisions do need to be made so that we pre-drill the holes behind these to go in before this gets drawn and need to be attached to that, because it'll be like a sandwich. It'll be the backboard, the cardboard, and then this. So now, just as a bit of interest, now these of course are going right on here for this particular project, but in comparison to Haunted, I had used a piece of plywood as the background. That one wasn't attached to the wall. It was attached in a different way on the bottom piece. You have to check that out to understand if you don't know. For those who wondered, I made this piece just pretty much like that. That was the leftover action in actual fact. The cut off. Put some screws through here and attached it to the backboard like that. And then I took a piece like this, and this is a crappy one, it was a nicer one, a platform, and then I screwed that, 2 screws to in here to that, and that gave me the platform where the Haunted dolls platform or stands went, so they went like that. And of course, Gracie came up with the idea later of this, which you know by that video. And all I did was attach these. So my angles here are horrible, sorry. I attached those right there. And that is how the haunted display worked. And like, you know, they were by their armpits. So I had to still hold the dolls up and see where they would hang so that their legs wouldn't mess up the thing. And that's where we're at right now. I'm going to work on this. We'll see you on episode 2. And I do foresee 2 should be enough to complete this project. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me for the first new area. Doing completely 100% with you. Have a great night. See you next time.